Welcome. Tonight, we step quietly into a world wrapped in soot and steam, yet filled with the small, silent lives of those who lived within it. The rapidly changing cities of Industrial Revolution England, where smoke veils the sky and the rhythm of machines pulses like a heartbeat beneath the streets. Together, we will walk through the long days of children working in factories. We will follow the quiet determination of a young inventor, descend into forgotten tunnels and hidden secrets beneath the city, and finally, peek into the elegant, fragile lives of the Victorian elite, living just above the fog and clamor. If you are ready, take a deep breath. Let your mind slow and gently match the pace of a world long past. Imagine yourself waking before dawn. The room is cold and dim. The wooden floor creaks beneath your bare or worn leather feet. Outside, the streets lie thick with smoke and ash. The sky is a heavy gray, dawn hidden behind a veil of coal smoke rising endlessly from towering chimneys. Your breakfast is small, cold, and hurried. Your family depends on what you bring home. Today, you will approach the huge, frightening machines with your small hands. Inside the factory, enormous wheels turn, leather belts stretch and twist like endless ribbons. The machines sing their steady, mechanical song. You are one silent, moving part, a tiny cog in the vast industrial wheel. For hours, you work without rest, a brief pause to breathe. But mostly, your aching hands and tired body go unnoticed. The outside world is no place for children. Play, laughter, and dreams are distant ideas. Here, survival and supporting your family are everything. Your hands are rough and calloused. Your eyes scan constantly, alert amidst the darkness and dust. One moment's distraction might halt a machine or worse, cause injury. You have been taught to obey without question, to speak only when spoken to. Mistakes are costly, and tolerance is rare. At day's end, dirty and weary, you return home. Rest is hard to come by. Tomorrow will bring the same long hours, the same heavy machines. Childhood here is not about play. It is about endurance, and the quiet, daily fight to simply keep going. Now, imagine yourself away from the factory floor, perhaps in a small, dimly lit workshop, tucked behind narrow cobblestone streets. The air smells faintly of oil and wood shavings. A faint glow from a flickering candle casts long shadows on the walls lined with sketches and tools. Here lives a young inventor, not unlike you, once a child in this bustling city. But in this quieter space, your hands are no longer pressed to the relentless machines. Instead, they carefully craft and tinker, shaping metal, bending wire, imagining new possibilities. Life outside the factory is not easy for this young mind. Books are scarce and often expensive. Education is a luxury, often stolen in fleeting moments, stolen between work shifts. Yet, determination kindles quietly. The young inventor's mind is restless, alive with dreams of creating something better, something to ease the burden of toil. Hours are spent testing and discarding. The first few models fail silently in the corner. The gears refuse to mesh smoothly. Ideas falter, but there is patience here. A steady rhythm of trial and error, of hope stitched together with small victories. Every failure teaches. Every moment shapes progress. Neighbors pass by, offering curious glances, but little encouragement. Society seldom rewards those who dare to imagine beyond their station. Yet this quiet genius persists, driven not by applause, but by a deep, unspoken need to improve life. You can almost hear the soft scratch of pen on paper, the whispered calculations, and the faint sighs of concentration. This story reminds us that even in the darkest, loudest cities, the human spirit quietly glows. That change often begins not with thunderous proclamations, but in the small, still moments of creation. And as the candle flickers low, the young inventor prepares to test another idea, hoping it might one day transform the world. Now, let us descend below the bustling streets and clanging factories. Beneath the soot-covered rooftops and crowded alleyways, a hidden world awaits, a labyrinth of forgotten tunnels, shadowed passages, and silent chambers. Imagine yourself stepping carefully into a narrow, damp tunnel. The air here is cool, thick with the scent of earth and old stone. Water drips slowly from the uneven ceiling, creating a quiet rhythm. These tunnels once carried the city's lifeblood, sewers to whisk away waste, hidden railways to transport coal and goods, and secret passages used by those seeking refuge or escape. Archaeologists and historians have spent decades unearthing these underground worlds. Each discovery reveals layers of the city's past stories buried beneath progress and time. You might find rusted tools abandoned decades ago, or faded graffiti left by workers seeking to leave a mark, or a forgotten shelter where families once huddled during bombings. The tunnels speak not only of industry, but also of resilience, a place where survival meant adapting to darkness and silence, where the city's forgotten souls walked unseen. Despite the grime and quiet, these passages pulse with history. They remind us that beneath the noise and smoke, life continued in hidden ways, complex, secret, and deeply human. And as you slowly emerge from the depths back to the street, the sun warms your face, and the city's distant hum returns. The echoes of the underground world linger quietly in your mind. Now, leave behind the dark tunnels and noisy factories. Step into the polished parlors and elegant drawing rooms of Victorian England's wealthy class. Imagine yourself seated on a plush velvet chair, the soft glow of a gas lamp casting a warm light over richly decorated wallpaper. The air smells faintly of fresh brewed tea and lavender. Here, life moves at a different pace, measured, restrained, and full of ritual. Tea time is a sacred pause in the day, complete with delicate porcelain cups, silver spoons, and carefully arranged pastries. Conversations flow softly, polite, and guarded. Social rules govern every glance, every gesture. A raised eyebrow can carry more weight than a shouted argument. The elite dress in fine fabrics, silks, lace, and tailored coats. Jewelry sparkles quietly, a subtle sign of status. Every detail is crafted to project power, respectability, and control. But beneath the surface, tension simmers. Fears of scandal, the pressure to maintain appearances, and the knowledge that this world is fragile and often isolated. Behind closed doors, some feel trapped by expectations. Others seek quiet escapes in books, music, or secret gardens. And children born into privilege face their own struggles of duty, inheritance, and the weight of legacy. As the evening wanes and the candles burn low, the echoes of laughter mingle with whispered worries. This world of tea and shadows is as complex and delicate as the finest porcelain cup. And as you slowly rise from your seat, the distant sounds of the city remind you of the many lives interwoven beneath the same sky, each with its own story, its own rhythm,